everybody, it's me, Akasha Wolf, and in today's video we have another Tarot Tuesday, and today we are going to be talking about the Empress. So, like I said before, we are working on all the cards that are in the Major Arcana first before moving into the Minor Arcana. I do kind of want to repeat this little part again when it comes to these cards. Like, when it comes to the Major Arcana, it's kind of like the bigger picture. I think that sometimes the Major Arcana, like one card holds a lot more information than you would get in one Minor Arcana, and I feel like that the Minor really provides those little details to the bigger picture in a sense. It might not always work that way for, you know, readers. Every reader is different and we all interpret cards differently. It depends on, I guess, how you learn to read also, and how you receive information from the universe or wherever you feel like your information comes from. Everyone's different. And when it comes to me, most of the time in my readings, I read my cards face up and I let the other cards kind of show me if there's a reverse meaning to the card that I've received. And it depends on who you're reading for and the energy you're receiving. But yeah, guys, sorry about all the ums. Before we get started, I also want to be like, whoopsie, my makeup is like really woo. And it's because I just did a video reviewing the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star collaboration. I wanted to just let you guys know about that. If you're interested, you can always check out my second channel. And I even did a haul of some stuff I picked up, which is why I have this crazy bold red lip or vampy lip on right now, because I was testing out a product I just bought. Anyways, so let's get into the Empress. So the Empress is another one of those cards where pregnancy is a big deal. And when it comes to, the last card we did was the High Priestess. And when it comes to the High Priestess, that's not really a pregnancy card, but so many times with the mermaid deck that I read, because that's my main deck, is the mermaid deck. Whenever I read that deck and I get that card, you better watch out, because it's pregnancy. And this is another one of those cards, but this is literally a card that is more associated with pregnancy. And the reason for that is the Empress is the mother figure in the Major Arcana. Now, something that you're going to notice is when you start getting into the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Cups, like those ones are also representations of age and also like male and female energy. It's just a different kind, like the different kind of person they are in a sense. But when it comes to the Empress, she is the mother woman figure, or the motherly figure, because honestly you could be reading for a man that's got more of like a motherly figure to him, you know. It's different for everyone, but that's what this represents. It usually represents a woman, and it represents a very motherly woman, good woman. She is very nurturing and has that very inviting energy. She takes care of anyone who walks through her door. She just has that drawing energy to people and to you. Like, she wants to do everything that she can to help take care of you, make sure you're okay, and be there for you as much as she can. And a lot of times it can be that she'll be there so much for you that she forgets to take care of herself. And that's, to me, what this what the Empress is. And this isn't just me, but this is like a description as well that is very common with the Empress. And it is a big pregnancy card. So in the background you see some water. Water can represent love, emotions, which does represent the Empress a lot. If you see, there's like grains and stuff right here. She's also to represent, you know, like a very fruitful harvest, fertility, stuff like that. And that's what this can represent as well. That's basically the energy of the Empress. Now, there's of course going to be a lot more detail in here that might call out to you during a reading, but let's move on to some of the other things associated with the Empress. The planet for the Empress is Venus, and Venus is going to be for the Empress, and you're also going to have the Major Arcana for the Emperor to represent Mars, because women Venus, men Mars. That's what they always say. Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. And that representation is here in the major arcana when it comes to the Empress and the Emperor. And the Emperor, we'll get into that into the next video because I'm over here wanting to explain it because they have like a connection with each other. You know what I mean? They're kind of like the mother and the father. But we'll move on from that because we don't want to get into those details because that's for another video. The element is Earth. And Earth is considered, you know, the mother. So it is a perfect representation of this card. The belly of a mother could also be kind of seen like an earth in a way because the earth can create, the earth creates life, and so do women. When they carry a child, they create life. So it does make sense that the planet for this card would be Earth. The chakra is the sacral chakra. Again, we're dealing with the area here of, you know, things happening. And that is the element, or that is the chakra. Magical uses. Something that I always tell you guys is you can use tarot cards to focus your energy, to focus your intent when performing a spell, but also to include in spells like your mojo bags or anything else like that. When it comes to the Empress, she is perfect to be used for love, abundance, and fertility. These are her ruling things. She's a very loving person. She brings that right kind of energy for love. It's nothing super possessive or anything like that, depending on meaning, of course. But the Empress herself, in the positive meaning of her, is a very loving woman, and it is not a possessive thing. It is a very natural thing that someone is going to be attracted to. And I think that when you want to ease your way into love in a healthy way, and you want to do a spell that does that, this would be a perfect card to use. And it's also a very good card for abundance, because if you see in the card itself, there's a lot of, you know, good harvest. It's very abundant. There's also fertility there because she does represent pregnancy and fertility. So if you do want to use it for a spell in that, you can use the Empress for that as well. The upright meaning for the Empress is going to be pregnancy, business. So like new partnerships or a new business kind of thing, because remember, you have to kind of look at the details in the card. You see harvest, like that is like the big thing that kind of pops out to me, along with pregnancy, of course, and her being the woman that she is. Another upright meaning would be a woman, a mother figure, a motherly energy. The upright meaning can also be engagement. So that's where we get the whole partnership thing as well, because it's not only something that can be represented in love, but it can also be represented in business. Again, this all depends on the cards that are surrounding it or what sticks out to you during the reading. Also, stability and new opportunities. And this card, when you see it, it can also represent like hardcore in a way. Basically everything that you have worked for, all the hard work you did, the blood, the sweat, the tears. This card can help represent that this is the time that it's all going to come together and finally pay off. The reverse meaning can of course be the reverse of all the things that I just went over. This could be an unwanted pregnancy. This might not be a really good thing, especially like depending on who you're with at the time, and the cards can also show you who that could be, or like if it's someone in the future and it might be happening to you and this is something you want to pay attention to. So unwanted pregnancy, financial issues, domestic problems, because in the positive for this card, in a sense, like I don't want to say positive, but the upright meaning is more so the positive. The reverse is the negative in a sense. It's like the opposite of the meaning. And instead of there being like a union or whatever, there's probably going to be just domestic problems leading to a breakup in the situation. So that's what the reverse meaning can mean for this card. It can also mean an affair. So it can have like the utmost worst meaning when it comes to relationships if you do get this card in reverse or with a negative meaning. Fertility issues, if you're looking to have a baby and this is something that comes up for you, it might mean that you're going to be having a very hard time to accomplish that, and depending on the cards surrounding it, it'll let you know if it'll even be a possibility. I'm starting getting into like deep explanations of this. It's just that when I do get talking about these cards, I really get passionate about it and like sharing, like kind of like what I feel from what I end up, you know, knowing about these cards. Something else about this card is like you need to understand that it can represent a mother, but like she's not just like a regular mother. A lot of times she's a like very like boom boom mother, like she's got it going on type of thing. And I don't know why I did boom boom, but that's the best kind of way I could describe it. Basically, she's a very beautiful mother and very feminine and elegant. Like she's like of like kind of vision of like a mother you kind of want to be, without like getting too tired and stuff from all the hard stuff. If it shit happens, you know, you're a mother, of course it's gonna get hard and get tired. I got fur babies right now and it's hard. And it's not even real kids, like, you know, actual kids, but it's like dealing with kids, and I've been feeling super duper tired, and they're a lot of work. Off the subject. So let's get into this card. Let's look into the deeper meaning of this card and what it might look like in different readings or different decks. And remember, you guys, if you're interested in any of these decks, I will have them listed with links down in the description below. Here we have 7 different decks, and I really want to show you a variety because then you get to see how the energy might shift and what you might interpret from the card may be different. These are the decks that we have available that I wanted to show you guys. And let's start with this one. So here we have the Empress being represented here. If you look closely, it looks like she is pregnant. You can see that there's a pink color going on right here on the belly area, and she holds a staff that's got a glow to it. It's like, what will that mean to you? What does it mean in the reading? In the background, we see a castle. We see water flowing from the castle. This can represent a home. It can represent love in a home, which is what I interpret based on what water means to me, and also the fact that it has that home representation and she is a mother figure. You can also look at the details of the things that she's holding and what that might represent to you. Also the flowers down below, or even the colors in the background. What calls to you in this card? Here we have another card, and this one is pretty interesting. This has a little bit of a younger feel to the woman in the card. Not so much. She's got that mother age in a sense, but she's also very young. And in her face, I see someone who is proud, but I also see someone who's concerned. So you see she has her hand on her belly. She's very feminine. She keeps her toes at a point as she sits on the edge of the bed, which, you know, if you're trying to sit comfortably, might not be the first thing you do. But she's got that very feminine setup to her, very ladylike, but her face may read different to all of us, you know what I mean? And in her hand, she has a light. This could be her foreseeing her future, what she might not like about her future, or trying to see where her future may go if she decides to have this child. There's a story here, and it's a story that you will be able to interpret, unlock, and build off of based on the cards that you have surrounding it. But what do you see in this card? Please let me know down in the comments below. I think it's very interesting because there's just so much here, but it's also so very simple. Again, here we have another mother figure going on here. This is the dragon deck, and she already has the baby. The baby's in her hand. You already see this is a mother. It's not the baby's on its way, it's the baby is there, which is not being represented in the other cards. See, like in this card right here, maybe she wants to have a baby. That's where she wants to see her future. But it also might not be that it's in her future. That might be the look of concern in her face. You know, like this can go somewhere else. But this card is very direct. You can see the broken egg of the child and everything. The child is there. This is a mother. She's already got her baby. It has a completely different representation in a sense than some of the other cards. If you look in all the cards, there's no child in them. There is an idea of a pregnancy. There is the feeling there. Wait, there might be a baby in that one, but we'll look in the details in a second. Here is my Art Nouveau deck, I believe. And this one is kind of got that like, you can tell this is a mother. Like, you can tell she's not like, I don't want to say like that, but she has more experience. You can see that she's probably had a couple of kids. This has nothing to do with like a build thing or anything, because I know that sounds kind of wrong, but it has more so to do with like her face and the way she carries herself. She's got that very queen setup to her. Like, she's seen some things and she knows how to handle her business and her children and everything, because remember, again, this is a big time pregnancy card, a mother card. This represents a person. So this is a good woman, a good mother. Like, that's just the energy you receive from this card and how she's represented here. Again, we have, the whole staff and everything going on, but there's no glowing. It's green, so maybe that might mean something to you. It's always different for everybody. She kind of gives me that Catherine de Medici feel from Reign, except for not so much the bad part of Catherine, because she's done some things, but she'll do just about anything for her children. Here we have the vampire deck that has two languages on it. It has Spanish up here and then English down at the bottom. And here, this is a completely different vibe. This gives you more of that feel of the unwanted pregnancy or heartbroken woman. She's covering her stomach with a fan. This could be that she's concealing a pregnancy, but you see her hand still here, almost as if like she's in pain, or is kind of still trying to represent that she is carrying a child. It's a little low, but like where her hand placement is. But you see that she's got makeup running down her face. She's heartbroken, she's sad. Maybe the person that she's had conceived this child with doesn't want to be with her, doesn't want to have want to be with her to have her children with. There is a big story that can be behind this card, but you can see that this is represented completely different than some of the cards that we've been dealing with in these other decks. She's a beautiful woman. She's younger, and it seems like that this is a newer thing for her, not so much like she's been a mother previously or multiple times. She's beautiful though. This is my mermaid deck, my main use one. As you can see, this one is like more so of a woman moving forward, looking towards the future. She's kind of got a very like stern face, like she's very direct, like she knows where she's going and that's it. That's why with this card I don't really get that pregnancy feel. If you see my other video with my mermaid deck and how the High Priestess is represented, you see more pregnancy, but this one I don't. Like, it's like they get switched off a little bit. And last but not least, we have the Archangel deck, and this one does have a baby already. So this is representing a mother. And it's crazy because this card is representative of Gabriel. So remember, angels don't really have a gender, but some of us might feel them differently, as in like what energy we might feel from them, like a more feminine or more masculine. And in here, it kind of looks like a male, but it's to be represented as a feminine energy. But you already see that the child is born, the child is there. There's a lot of animals in this picture. Shows here down the bottom, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Oh, and lavish abundance. This has to me more of those details of everything else that the card represents, like the Empress in general, what it represents. And you see all the animals and stuff. Super cool. But this all might mean something different to you. and this might connect to you more than it might me. You might see more than what I'm seeing here in this card. But yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm trying to do these slightly different. I noticed that my other ones were like too kind of just like dot 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 dot, you know, and I wanted to kind of just make it a little bit more personal and getting into more little details with each of the cards instead of just telling you like the things that you can easily read in a book. You know what I mean? And I don't want to keep it that way. I want to make it more personal with each card. But anyways, you guys, make sure you check out the rest of the Major Arcana videos. And I did receive a comment from a YouTuber I met who was really cool. And she was asking if there's an actual video teaching how to read tarot. And I actually have a very long series that I did with SpellsOfMagic.com on how to read tarot. Now, I'll have the playlist available for you at the end of the video and also in the description below so that you guys can check it out. If you feel like you would like another video on how to read the tarot, please let me know down in the comments, and I might like remake a video or maybe even do a live stream or something like that for you guys. Also, list any questions you may have about reading the tarot, so then maybe I can make a more structured video that answers all your questions. Don't forget, in the description below, I do have some affiliate links of each of the cards or each of the decks that were used in this video. So if you feel like you have an attraction or any of the cards call to you, check the description below and I will have those available for you to check out and see if you want to purchase them. Yeah, you guys, I know I haven't been posting other regular videos. I really hope to do more. It's just really hard because now I have little doggies that are a lot of work right now. Also, work at the same time is really difficult because I have to do a lot of editing, and I do have like a lot of PR stuff that I do want to share with you guys because it's honestly a lot of really cool stuff. And I just don't want you guys to feel like I'm constantly trying to sell you something. So that's why it's been like really hard for me to be putting out videos, because I do have a lot of things I need to catch up on when it comes to PR and products and stuff I have here. But I also think that like a lot of the stuff I do have, you guys would enjoy. So I hope to incorporate it in some future videos and do like a cool little twist to some of them, because it'd be nice to show you how you can incorporate it in your practice and maybe even make some spells. But yeah, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe so that you can be part of the wolf pack, and check out all my social media. I'll try to keep you guys updated with things and make more videos. And I'm trying to create some more spells and stuff. It's just that I try to test things before I put them out there, so that way I'm not just throwing a bunch of random spells that I made up down your throat. I want to make sure they work. But yeah, sorry about that. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye and blessings.